Elon Musk stepped onto the private first-class section of a luxurious cross-country flight, ready to settle in for a few hours of peace. Dressed in a simple black t-shirt and jeans, he didn't look like a billionaire tech mogul, just another passenger on a business trip. As he placed his carry-on in the overhead bin, he noticed a commotion near the front of the cabin. A flight attendant was quietly apologizing to an older man in a military uniform, her face filled with regret. The man, a veteran in his late 60s, had graying hair and a weary yet dignified expression. It was clear he had been through a lot in his life. He held a ticket in his hand, but the airline had overbooked the first-class cabin, and it seemed like he was being asked to move. Elon watched for a moment, his mind racing. He wasn't one to enjoy unnecessary attention, but he also wasn't the type to sit idly by when he saw something unfair happening. Before the situation could escalate, he stood up, casually adjusting his watch. "Excuse me," he said, stepping forward. The flight attendant turned, her eyes widening in recognition. "I'll take his seat in economy. Let him have mine." The veteran looked at Elon, then at the empty first-class seat, his brow furrowing. "Son, I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that." Elon smiled slightly. "You've done way more for this country than I ever have. The least I can do is give up a comfortable chair." The cabin grew quiet. Other passengers were watching now, some whispering among themselves. The flight attendant, clearly caught off guard, nodded and quickly made the switch. As Elon grabbed his bag and made his way toward the economy section, a few passengers clapped, and the veteran simply gave him a respectful nod. But what happened next? That's when things really took a turn no one expected. Elon Musk didn't think twice as he walked toward the economy section. To him, it was a simple gesture, just basic human decency. But to the passengers watching, it was something else entirely. A few people whispered among themselves, others pulled out their phones, and someone murmured, "Did Elon Musk really just give up his first-class seat?" As he reached his new seat in the middle of a cramped row, an older woman in the aisle seat gave him a surprised look. You're Elon Musk, aren't you?" Elon smirked slightly, adjusting his tray table. "That's what they tell me." The man in the window seat, a young engineer in his early 30s, leaned forward. "Dude, I can't believe you just did that. Most people wouldn't give up a window seat, let alone first class." Elon shrugged. "A seat's a seat. That guy deserves the upgrade more than I do." Meanwhile, back in first class, the veteran settled into his new seat, clearly still processing what had just happened. The flight attendant returned a moment later, handing him a glass of champagne. "Compliments of the airline, sir." The older man smiled and took a sip before turning to the businessman sitting next to him, a well-dressed executive in a tailored suit. "You ever see something like that before?" The executive shook his head. "Not in first class." He glanced toward the economy section where Elon was casually scrolling through his phone, then back at the veteran. "That's rare." A few seats away, another passenger, a journalist who had been traveling on the same flight, typed furiously on his phone. His headline was already forming in his mind. "Elon Musk gives up first-class seat for veteran. Airline passengers stunned by his response." By the time the plane was in the air, the story was already spreading on social media. Someone had snapped a picture of the moment Elon handed over his seat, and within minutes, it was being shared across Twitter and Instagram. Elon, of course, had no idea. He was too busy watching an in-flight documentary about artificial intelligence, completely oblivious to the fact that his small act of kindness was making headlines before the plane even landed. But then something even more unexpected happened. A flight attendant came down the aisle and stopped next to Elon's seat. "Mr. Musk," she said quietly, "there's someone who wants to talk to you." Elon looked up, raising an eyebrow. "Who?" She gestured toward the front of the plane. "The veteran. He wants to thank you personally." Elon sighed playfully. "You're not going to make me walk all the way back up there, are you?" The flight attendant smiled. "Actually, he's coming to you." Elon turned his head just in time to see the veteran making his way down the aisle, his uniform neatly pressed, his expression serious. The plane had suddenly gone quiet again as people watched. When the veteran finally reached Elon's row, he extended a hand. "I don't know what to say, son, but I wasn't about to let you sit back here without shaking your hand first." Elon stood up and shook his hand firmly. "You don't owe me anything," he said sincerely. "Like I said, you've done more for this country than I ever could." The veteran looked at him for a long moment before nodding. "I appreciate that." Then, with a small smile, he reached into his pocket and pulled out something small and metallic. Elon glanced down as the veteran placed it in his hand. It was a challenge coin, a special military token often given as a sign of respect. Elon turned the coin over in his palm, feeling the weight of it. "Are you sure?" The veteran nodded. "I only give these to people who've truly earned them." For the first time in the entire exchange, Elon Musk was speechless. As Elon Musk sat there, rolling the challenge coin between his fingers, he felt an unfamiliar weight settle in his chest. It wasn't about the coin itself. It was about what it represented. This wasn't just a token. It was a symbol of deep respect, something earned through sacrifice and honor. For a moment, he was at a loss for words. I don't think I deserve this," he admitted, looking up at the veteran. The older man chuckled. "Son, respect isn't about money, power, or status. It's about character. And today, you showed yours." Passengers nearby watched in awe as the exchange took place. Some were still whispering, others had their phones out, recording what was quickly becoming one of the most talked about moments of the flight. But Elon wasn't thinking about any of that. He was thinking about his own journey, about how he'd spent his life pushing boundaries, trying to make the world a better place. Through technology, innovation, and sheer determination. Yet, standing here, in the middle of an economy-class row, he realized something. Some acts of greatness didn't require billions of dollars, cutting-edge inventions, or massive spaceships. Sometimes they were as simple as giving up a seat. By the time the plane landed, the internet was already ablaze. The journalist who had witnessed everything had finished his article before even stepping off the aircraft. The headline? Elon Musk's unbelievable act of kindness at 30,000 feet. What happened next will restore your faith in humanity. Within hours, the post had gone viral. News outlets picked it up. Social media exploded with discussions. Some praised him, calling it a rare and genuine act of generosity from a billionaire. Others debated whether more high-profile figures should follow his example. And then, something even crazier happened. The airline's CEO personally reached out to Musk, offering him a lifetime of free first-class flights as a gesture of appreciation. But Musk, being Musk, had a different idea. He declined the offer for himself, but instead, he made a counterproposal. "How about this?" he said in a tweet. "Instead of giving me free flights, let's create a program where military veterans and their families get priority seating and upgrades whenever possible. Deal?" The airline wasted no time in responding. Done. And just like that, a simple act of kindness had sparked something far bigger than anyone had anticipated. A major airline had just committed to giving veterans the recognition they deserved, all because Elon Musk gave up his seat. A final, unexpected twist. That evening, as Elon sat in his office scrolling through the endless flood of tweets, articles, and news reports about what had happened, he received a notification, a private message, from the veteran. Elon opened it. It was a simple text, followed by a picture. The text read, "Didn't get the chance to tell you earlier. My grandson wants to be an engineer someday. Space sex is his dream." The picture was of a young boy, no older than 10, standing in front of a rocket model, wearing a space hoodie. Elon couldn't help but smile. He quickly typed back, "Send him my way." "I think I know a place where he'll fit right in, because at the end of the day, kindness always had a way of coming full circle." This story is more than just about Elon Musk giving up his seat. It's about how one simple act of kindness can create a ripple effect far beyond what we imagine. It's proof that no matter how big or small, the choices we make can inspire change in ways we never expect. What would you have done in Elon's position? Would you have given up your first-class seat for a veteran? Let us know in the comments. And if this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an incredible story like this one. Thanks for watching, and remember, kindness always comes full circle. See you in the next video.